Hello everybody, Adam here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be showing you some highlights from a couple of quarter distance races, 17 lap fixed setup races in Montreal. You can see I'm qualified fourth here. A pretty tight grid when it comes to qualifying times. Definitely some room for improvement from my end. But we're qualified fourth, we're ranked fourth in iRating. The top two guys here, Marcel and Julian, are pretty quick. They're definitely one of them. Marcel's a 7,000 iRated player. Julian's 5,000. But without further ado, let's get into the race. Red lights on, and away we go. So we get a pretty average start. Again, I'm gonna go to the outside here. Try not to get in anybody's way. But we see Brandon behind us. Gets a pretty good run on the outside, and gets a better run than I do, so I have slightly compromised line into this corner, but we stay ahead. So we slot in fourth, and the race is underway. Rafa in front of us is pretty quick, though he's ranked slightly lower than us in the iRating. But if I finish here, I'll gain a measly 8 points towards my iRating. So hoping I can do more than just that, but I'll take it. It's a positive result at the end of the day. So forwarding through lap 1 here, I'm going to show you guys the first few laps of this race because it's pretty interesting for what event occurs on later on. So I don't want to give away too many details, but going up the gears here on the back straight, we're going to be entering the chicane with the Wall of Champions. This is a pretty difficult chicane. I'm staying away from the curves as much as possible, not just because it's lap 1, but that's an area where I'm pretty slow. And also turn 1 right here, I'm not really the quickest into, because you really need to hold your speed through that turn and then brake again for turn 2. So or the right-hander. So that's an area I can definitely improve on. Definitely go wide here on that right-hander. This is a street track in Montreal, so really anywhere you need to commit to a corner, there's a wall on your outside. So if you run too far wide, you're going to scrape the wall or hit it a lot harder, and that's the end of your race. So you can see I'm kind of losing pace to the top 3 in front. The leader is still under 4 seconds ahead. But Marcel is just really quick in this car. He's a 7,000 iRated player, as I mentioned. So beating him is going to be a very tall task. But still going to do the race. There's no way I'd quit. But we see behind us Brandon is still holding his own within DRS. But this is lap 2, so there's no DRS available for anybody. And I definitely lose a lot of time here in this chicane. A couple of the other races that I've done, I've kind of gained some speed in terms of practice here, but when I first started racing the Formula 1 cars here, this was in the W12. This is the track I started at, and I did a full distance race and got about 80% of the way through with 0x, and that was my first time ever doing a full distance race, and I was pretty happy that I made it out so clean. But there was a car after this turn right here. Actually, we're going to see here a bunch of smoke, and that's actually P1 and P2. That was P2 just upside down on the left. They collided into each other, and they are completely out of our way now. So we jumped from 4th to 2nd place on this 3rd lap, and that's what I really wanted to show you guys. So we're going to fast forward here to lap 5, and we're gonna watch in our rear view mirror. We see Brandon is 6/10 behind us. Actually, no, this was me almost losing it completely. So I got pretty scared right there because, as I said, you can just completely go into the wall and your race is ruined. So near-death experience right there. But we made it out, and that's good. Moving on here to lap 9, entering the chicane. I take it really slow. I kind of am so slow that Brandon makes a bit of a mistake because he didn't think I was going to go that slow, but he almost goes down the inside into that first braking zone, but he thinks better of it and 6 on my tail through this process. But we'll watch in the rear view mirror here. Brandon is going to hit the curb and puts it into the wall. So pretty unfortunate for him how he lost the position there, but we keep going. Really, this race is about survival, so not much I can do aside from just my own race at this point. We got Marcel, the guy who crashed. He's 6 seconds behind us, and the leader is just over 2 seconds away, so Marcel is gaining on us, even though he had lost ground. But we fast forward to lap 13, and we're going to watch Marcel's gap here. In the top left, you can see it's 1.3, and it goes up to 2, now 3 seconds, now 4. So he's crashed, and he's at the wall of champions. So pretty unfortunate for him. I'll show you guys after the race what happened to him. But honestly, that's pretty much it when it comes to action for myself in this race. So entering the last turn here, on the last lap, just taking it pretty easy, coming across the line, pretty satisfied with P2 in this race, beating a 7,000 iRated player, though he did crash and hit the wall. So not much I did to contribute to beating somebody that's so highly ranked. But we'll see the start of the race here. We go around the outside, try to keep out of the way. Brandon gets a good bit of a straighter exit, has more confidence putting the power down. So we're essentially side by side entering this next turn, but I have the inside line. I brake a little later and I hold the position there. We're going to watch the start of the race from Marcel here, just seeing how he gets off the line and holds his lead. There's definitely some room on the inside that he leaves for second place. Definitely need to be cautious here in these Formula 1 cars. The net code is brutal, meaning if you don't really hit somebody, but the game registers it as contact and it just yeets your car. So good caution there by Marcel on the first lap, still holding the lead. But we're gonna fast forward to lap 3 on Marcel, where he makes a mistake. So he brakes into this corner, takes a good bit of curb here, but takes too much curb here. Locks his tires to try to stop the rotation, and the car behind hits him, spins out Marcel, and P2 is upside down. And Marcel comes back from this point. You can see it in slow motion. Too much curb, car rotates. He locks up to stop the rotation. P2 kind of goes to the left, kind of goes to the right to try to get out of the way because he can't really see through the smoke, and he's predicting where the car was originally going, and it's kind of just a disaster. But you'll see me, the next car that comes through. But now we'll fast forward to Marcel chasing me, and he takes way too much curb entering the wall champion chicane, and bends it right into the wall and completely ruins his race. So he's got no potential, just way too much curb, and that's kind of unfortunate for him. He's out. And we'll see Brandon here on lap 9 how he gets his race ended as well. So he takes a pretty good run through this corner. We'll watch him hit the curb on the entry here into this turn. A little too much curb, unsettles the car, and boom, he's in the wall. Just like that, his race ends, and that was it for the race in terms of all the highlights. 4,400 iRating, went up 41 points. Safety rating went up a smidge as well, so I'll take that. Pretty good result for me. I didn't even practice entering this race. I had like 3 minutes to practice. I just came back from work, but I'm going to show you guys another race. This one is not as eventful, but we're sitting on P2. Marcel again is in this race. This is another day, not even the same day, so we're P2 to Marcel. You can see his ranking is like 6.8k, and I'm ranked 3rd in this lobby. So if I finish here, I'm getting 42 points towards my iRanking, which is another great result. But we'll see. Kent Nielsen is the guy who's ranked 2nd place, and he's starting in like 6th place or something like that. So green lights. You can't see Marcel from this perspective, but he's on our left side. And he stays ahead, holds his line, leaves a little bit of space for me, but I'm definitely not going for it. The goal here is to just hold 2nd place. We'll just watch Marcel as he just pulls away from me in this situation. Get a little bit of a twitch here, leaving that first chicane, but nevertheless, we've made it out of the start comfortably, and we're pulling away. And we got Fabian, who is P3 behind us. He's ranked 7th. And Kent's made up a few places as well. You see he started 6th, and now he's in 4th place. So he's made up 2 places so far in this first lap. 2 seconds behind me. Need to watch out for him. But we've got, fast forwarding to lap 3, Fabian is right behind us, and we brake into this turn. Not the best of brakes for me. And we've got Fabian just 4/10 behind us before the DRS, even 3/10 as the DRS starts. So not a great back straight for me. He's gonna, I go defend a little bit. He takes the inside. I'll give it to him, and he's ahead. So at this point, I wasn't really comfortable with my tires yet. Really hadn't really settled into the race. But he pulls ahead, and we're gonna see him here just completely outbrake himself, take the grass, and he's off the track. So kind of unfortunate for him, but he made his own mistake. I don't think I pressured him enough into making a mistake there. And that was all the action in the race. That's it, literally. Nothing happened to me, but I'll show you guys after the race what some of the other drivers, some of the incidents that they had. But definitely just was happy with 2nd place. Wasn't really pressuring P1. Kind of just played it cool. So this is my start, and the car is behind me. Pretty calm. Just gonna leave a little bit of room on the inside, and away we are. So nothing really drastic at the start of the race there. I just wanted to show you guys the chase, rear chase, kind of what things look like there. We're all single file now at this point. Just moving along. And we'll see the car behind, this yellow car, get a bit on the curb, too much power, and spins it. And that's on lap 1, and that's not even much curb. So this car just really unsettles itself, and now we see that same guy make the move on us into the chicane, the final chicane. See how he gets in front of us. We'll see it from this view as well. We give him the line. Really, I was just hoping to apply some pressure over the following laps, and just kind of stick on his tail and see what was going to happen there. But fortunately for me, he just locks up and kind of ruins his race on his own. So not much happened to us right here. And we'll see, this is Kent Nielsen, really my biggest rival, I thought, at this point. He just gets rear-ended, and his race gets relatively ruined from some contact that's purely not his fault. So kind of unfortunate for him, but that's how it goes. So another solid 40-point race for us for the iRating, closing in on 4,500, which is definitely my peak. But yeah, thanks for joining, guys. See y'all next time.